I thought about pretending to be gay just for a moment, just to speak to them. But I decided not to.
I don't think.
Do you think he like
he touched my shoulder.
His friends like the bouncer being like, "I'm sorry, sir. Are you?
No, but he
Or are
tapped
you
my
a-
Don't
shoulder.
talk to me unless you're gay.
Yeah.
He tapped my shoulder. I was like, oh, but maybe I should flirt back. I don't know.
That's not the song.
I just wanted to join in.
We didn't do a rehearsal."
Literally, that's so funny because I just stopped singing and like Rush saying that's not the song and Laddi laughing sounded like a Nickelodeon bit right before it cut. So that was actually. Welcome everybody to the Voice Chat Podcast. My name is Maaz from TheAMaazing.
I'm Laddi.
I'm Rushlight Invader.
I'm JayDotJay.
And I'm Zade.
Oh my god, I'm so glad we did not rehearse
We
the
did
order.
not
I
rehearse.
was hoping they would both say at the same time. I was really hoping they would mess
We
that up.
nailed it.
Yeah.
No, we got it.
Damn,
We're
when
professionals.
we rehearse, when we used to rehearse, people got it wrong all the time, and when we don't, people do it right. So I don't know what's happening.
I just waited for Jay, to be honest. I was like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, so I figured.
You
so I
just like
figured,
straight up.
listen,
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I
I'll take the
refuse.
lead on this.
Welcome everybody. It's been a while since we had you on JJ, and it's the first time you're on Zade.
Yes.
We're
it's been a
breaking
good-
the one guest rule just because I think you guys have a lot of stories apparently that y'all want to tell together. So I was like, all right, might as well. Let's do it.
Might as well.
Absolutely.
No, we've had a good time.
We
I'm
have.
prim-
We have.
I primarily at VidCon, right?
Yeah, I mean, like,
VidCon.
VidCon was the-
Yeah.
VidCon was a
Thanks,
while
Laddi.
ago.
He got you,
I had
man.
no idea where that was going.
Yeah, Laddi saw it, and I was like, where is?
That's why you got input.
It's a VidCon song.
Yeah.
I have I did not go this year's VidCon, but I imagine that's what you guys were saying constantly.
Laddi would just say every time we got in the cars, he'd be like, "Yeah."
VidCon.
Thanks, guys.
I think we all went out to LA for a good bit, right? Like we were all staying
Yeah.
around for like not just VidCon, but like several weeks before and several
Wait,
weeks.
how
after.
long did you stay there for, JJ?
So
Wait. Get the right name first. Wait. Read names.
What?
sorry, what?
Read names.
Oh, the
Alright.
patron.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry. I just want to thank all of the patrons and channel members, especially I'm Creepy Cookie, Jason Roop, Storyteller25, shout out, Deke, Pure Spirit Flower, and Fluzzy101.
Woo!
Woo.
So sexy. Those are those
Yay.
people.
And Higher Chasm, why not? Let's do it too.
Oh, whoa,
Let's do
whoa.
it, everyone.
Yeah, why
Whoa.
not?
I'm so happy you read those mods because I can't read.
No
He's
worries,
so
Rush.
illiterate.
Actually, so me and Laddi and a friend of ours, Nunu, decided that we wanted to stay in LA for a good bit. So we went at, like the beginning of June, and then we've been in LA basically like ever since.
Yeah,
we're
it started
still in
out
LA.
as it was
Yeah.
just gonna be like a summer trip. We were gonna stay for 3 months, and then September happened, and they were like, "Oh, we could stay for longer." And then October happened, and they're like, "Oh, we could stay for longer." So it's turned into a 6-month long
Yeah.
California.
So you guys
trip.
just moved to LA.
Basically, this
Yeah,
is our beta
and-
test.
They're like hermit
This
crabs
is a
going from
beta
one house to
test.
another.
And it's been fun. We're little nomads.
Yeah, we've moved so many
Yeah,
times.
VidCon sounds good, and just relocate your entire life. You're like, yeah, dude,
that
VidCon's
was my
lit.
first
VidCon, yeah.
They're doing 2 next year. We're gonna be going all over the place.
Let's go.
You guys moved in June. VidCon in July, I'm presuming.
Yes.
It was like late June, but yeah, late June, early July, around
It
that time.
was
Tomato.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know.
fair enough.
potato.
And Zade, you came over from the Europe.
Dude,
The Europe. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
the
it is.
Europe.
You know,
yeah,
the
no,
Europe.
from Scotland.
do your
That
best
was
Scotland
my
accent.
First time.
Do your best Scotland accent right
No
now.
way.
Yeah, very Scottish.
Go ahead.
I'm from Scotland.
All right, now do your best American.
Whoa.
I've
That's
never
actually
wanted
good.
something. No, it's not.
Our
No,
Scottish
it's not.
viewers are punching
Don't
the air
gaslight
right
me. Yeah.
That's not
no,
Scottish.
That's more Scottish than my Scottish.
Dude,
Oh,
I
God,
kidnapped
I
Zade
believe
basically
it.
leading up to VidCon.
He did.
I
And
was
so
like,
happy he did.
Zade, what are you doing? And he's like, "Oh, just working summer." And like, you coming to America? I'm like, I'm coming to America. You're coming to America. I guess I'm coming to America. I'm like, there he comes.
Here
It was
comes to
genuinely the same
America.
day. Like, that's not even exaggerated. It was the same day. He texted me, and then I started organizing everything. I had to get the visa and stuff, and then, yeah.
Did you have your visa from
I
last year?
brought
right?
it up that night where I was like, before I went to bed, I was like, "Is Zade coming?" And Rush was like, I don't know. I was like, you should ask him. And I went to bed, and then I woke up the next morning. Rush is like, "Yeah, so Zade is coming. He booked his stuff. He's just coming over."
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see you
Oh, it
tomorrow.
was so good.
Rush messages a picture of Zade tied up.
Just in the back of his car.
Remember when we did that, Rush? That
Yeah,
was so
good
funny.
times. We did the double knot. Crazy.
Yeah,
Couldn't
it
get
was
out of
really
that was so
hard
much
shoving
fun.
him into the car, but we were able to do
Yeah,
it.
surprised he
Zade
fit.
like doesn't. You wouldn't think he would fit inside the trunk of a car.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
you like
No,
crumple
I'm a
him up,
small guy.
You can do anything if you're determined enough.
If you cut him in
know?
half.
actually, we
Pretty
had to
hard
crumple
to.
him in the suitcase to get him over from Scotland.
Yeah,
and then
true.
into Rush's car.
In the picture, you do see something blue. It's like, what's that? It's just I'm tied up next to them. You took me from Australia. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I'm
if
actually
you believe
recording
in
the
yourself.
podcast with Laddie. She's sitting down.
I'm so
Yeah.
good.
God, yeah.
No, I couldn't go this year's VidCon. Unfortunately, I had
Oh.
all of my leave from work allocated to everything else. So unfortunately, didn't come.
So the guy I was kissing wasn't you?
No, no,
What?
that was a
Interesting.
random brown man.
Mm.
Yeah.
I
See,
am.
Rush, that was me.
So Rush is racist.
I'm
then.
racist. You
Yeah.
got me.
Rush walked up to this random Indian guy and said Maaz and just made out.
Maaz. And then he was like, I'm black and I'm Zade.
He
And like,
did that more than once, too. I was like, calm down. We haven't even left the airport.
Maaz, it looks so different.
you got me.
We haven't even left the Uber. Come on, Rush.
That's so funny. Was it
It's because the
good?
Uber driver's like, "Wow."
I was
so
like,
long,
damn. They're really friendly to Australians, huh? I'm pretty sure this guy's from Boston. I don't know what's happening here.
Crikey, mate. That's what he said.
Man, so true.
Wait, I just had a...
I got a major FOMO looking at all those pictures and videos. Primarily because like obviously COVID was still happening, so like a lot of the social gatherings that we usually do meet up didn't happen in 2020 and 2021.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, whatever.
Well,
I'll just take
then-
good photos.
Then we were like, well, then if we can't have Maaz come to us, let's just go to Maaz.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that
Okay.
later.
Alright,
Yeah,
alright.
yeah.
Put a
yeah.
pin in
I
it.
see.
to that.
I see.
You see it. VidCon Europe first.
Shut up, Laddi.
Kanye.
Did you guys manage to get like the main thing about VidCon and like so this is gonna sound like really arrogant and I hope the audience doesn't think less of me, but it's like once you experience how it is to have like a gold pass at VidCon, you can never go back.
Yeah.
Like, there's
Yeah.
you can't. And like in 2019 VidCon, which is the last one that I went to, because I was featured in VidCon Australia, obviously Australian. And so that that was pretty cool. Like Instagram and Twitter had a giant lounge, and Facebook had this lounge where one entire wall was exotic fruits, and they just said grab whichever fruit and eat it.
Yeah.
And so people would go up and grab like a dragon fruit and lychee and all these weird and wonderful fruits, and they would be like, yeah, you could eat it either right there and there, or make like a smoothie, or do whatever you want. Like it was really sick. And then I went to the USA and I got like a +1 pass, which is another golden pass, and I thought it was cool in Australia. And then I walk into the US and they're like, oh, this is like a free ramen stand. We will make whatever ramen for you. You just
That
tell
was
us
so good.
ingredients.
So good.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then they didn't really put a restriction on whether or not how many I can get and how I can walk in and out. So I literally got like 3 ramen and I brought it back for Rush. And I was like, here, Rush, you can.
No.
get ramen."
I snuck in
Aw.
myself. You gave it to PJ.
No, you didn't. Oh, you did sneak in yourself.
Yeah,
You're right,
yeah,
you're right,
yeah,
I give it to PJ.
I mean, I
Yeah,
didn't sneak in. I got the wrist. I had the wristband. I had the wristband. Don't worry.
From somebody else.
Oh,
yeah. And then the other thing was like they also had like a embroidery thing. Like you can make your hat or socks or fanny pack and they'd embroider your YouTube name. And I was like, what the hell? I'll grab that. But the unfortunate thing is now when I travel, I have a fanny pack that says hashtag TheAMaazing on it, and it's like the most embarrassing thing ever.
Stylish.
No, that's true.
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing.
And so that's 2019, and so 2022, if you gold pass is like the way to go. You know what I mean?
It
Do
is.
you guys like Laddi, Rush, it is that y'all have
I agree
don't.
100%.
I still have not experienced the full golden pass. You
Okay.
too.
Well, do you want to say why?
Because I've said it I think in an episode before, but I had COVID after the first day, so I couldn't do nothing.
Damn.
It was so
Stayed at
disappointing.
home. I stayed at home.
just a single tear rolls down your cheek. You're just like,
Yeah, I went off about it I think last podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was sad.
No, it was because like this year. So this year, as you were saying, Maaz, normally they have the featured creator, featured guest stuff. They normally have like all the private booths and everything on the back of the convention, right? This year they decided to have it at the Hilton.
what?
It was a completely different thing, and like each of the
Well,
like,
wait. But the Hilton's so far from the convention center.
so
What?
basically I was gonna say the YouTube. They had a YouTube lounge. They had 2 Facebook like Meta lounges. They had a Snapchat lounge. They had they just had so many different social media sites had like. I mean, like massive lounges with all these decorations in it. Like the TikTok one was insane. The Facebook one, they had like the Facebook one was out. One of them was outside around the pool, and they had all that kind of stuff. They had these like massive displays where you could like it was for like taking like Instagram photos and all that kind of stuff on the inside. It was basically, honestly, it was like a second convention that was just for featured creators.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Unless you had something to do, you just didn't go to the convention center because it was like, it was way less this year. Like there was way less stuff to do at the actual convention this year, and so you could just be like hanging out at like the YouTube lounge and like just see a bunch of people go by.
Yeah.
I had an embarrassing moment where I was at the YouTube lounge, and that day I was wearing merch from Valkyrie. She had this like cool like shirt that like it's like half black and like half tan and stuff. It's a really cool design. So I was, I didn't think too much of it. I was just like sitting in there doing the thing. But then OTV and Valkyrie and like that entire group like happened to like they walked into the thing and I felt so
You're like, don't look at me. I hope they don't come over here.
I was like, no. I was like, they can't come over here. Because it's one thing if you're like wearing your friend's merch, right? And you're like, hey, I'm supporting gay, But like in that moment, I was like, oh man, I look like such a fucking fan right now. I cannot. Yeah, I was just like, I was like, hopefully no one notices.
Dude, that's so funny. Definitely don't love the change of venue though. I can already imagine.
No, it sucked.
So is that like a bad example of me being the first time though?
Oh yeah, VidCon 2022. It was very underwhelming compared to previous years, is what I'll say.
Well, that's
Yeah.
on the
I actually
convention
enjoyed
side
it.
though. I do think that the actual like booths were better than they were in 2019 and 2018. Like in terms of like the decorations and the money that was spent doing all that kind of
Oh,
stuff up
yeah.
there. There was one place that literally just served you drinks.
Yeah.
They were selling. they were
yeah,
serving-
the free
it was
ones.
for these Korean jellies.
Yeah, we walked
what?
in, they're like, free alcohol. I'm like, I'll take it.
Basically they were selling these Korean like hangover jellies, right? And that was like the whole brand. And so to kind of like show the effectiveness of it, they would just give out free drinks. You could just stand in line, you would get a drink, you could go back and get another drink after
Yeah.
like
That's
So
so cool. That's so
it's
smart.
Very cool.
Yeah.
it was great marketing. Except I don't remember the brand name, so maybe not that good.
Oh, maybe not that great, actually.
I'm sorry, but the gummies were good. I wish I could find it. We have the box around here somewhere.
Somewhere.
Yeah, so I mean, like the actual convention though was definitely way under. What there was a whole wing that went underused. It's because TikTok sponsored this one, and they were kind of like, there's a lot of
Yeah.
the TikTokers had less like engagement. I think this time around.
Yeah.
I agree.
There's a lot of like you can see at VidCon like a lot of TikTokers will have meet and greets and like no one's
No
there.
one's there. They had like
Right?
10 mil plus
No one's there.
followers, and no one showed
Yeah.
up.
But, like, for the
I think,
YouTubers?
TikTok's obviously backing the event, and so they really do want to push their TikTokers. But I just don't know how many of them have that engagement that they're looking for.
I think they have a different kind of like audience connection though than like YouTubers, right? Because most YouTubers is like not one-on-one, but more like their audience is bringing what's the word, like a whole community into like their stuff and their content. Whereas TikToks, a lot of them are just like one-off. Like you watch one of the TikToks, you like it, and then you move on, or maybe you follow and then don't watch any more of their stuff, and then that's it. So like the fan base is harder to build for that. And
something can also be gimmick too. Like there's a guy that we met at one of the parties that just like he was a reactor to stuff, but like his reactions were just he would just like smile and nod at the camera. That was basically it. And he had like 4 million followers, and it was like, bro, I don't know, like, you know what I mean?
Easy money.
That's a fluke.
Hey, money's money though. Get your bag.
Money is money, baby.
Listen, I mean, listen, you can get it. You can do it. They did some wild stuff.
True.
They had some parties, some big parties this time.
Oh yeah.
That were pretty fun. That we had to like kind of sneak our way into.
Fucking Zade. I got a story with Zade at a party.
Oh yeah, baby.
Speaking of parties, Zade, remember the spot? Not Spotify. The fucking what the fuck was it? What was the fun party?
It was
Amazon
right?
party.
You're talking about Amazon? Yeah.
Oh
The
no.
House of Blues.
Oh no.
Remember when you crapped yourself?
I mean, I basically did, to be honest.
Wait, what?
All right, so we go in.
I was completely
Stomach
kidding.
full of food, right? We walk out, less food in that stomach. But no, we walk in and Zade, you tell the story. Fuck it, you go ahead.
Which one?
The fucking
A
Ted,
lot happened at these
Carl,
parties.
Jacob upstairs elevator.
Okay. So,
Shitting yourself.
so we've gone into this part. For context, I've already met Ted at this point. I met him earlier at VidCon, and I'd already spoken to him.
It's because we did a thing, right? Where we were like trying to.
Yeah. No, that's.
And he wanted to work
Should we talk about that
with you,
first?
right?
Like the expo hall. Should we do that bit
Yeah.
first? Or?
Wait, let's do
okay.
the expo hall bit first. Let's go.
Okay, so on I think it was the last day of VidCon or one of the last days of VidCon, they had like a day where all of the creators and stuff all had full access to the hall, like without the fans and stuff. So you had to have at least I think it was orange badge, like orange.
Yeah,
or
orange or
gold,
gold.
whatever. Yeah. And I was working at Jaden's stall for VidCon, which is mainly why I went. But yeah, so on the expo hall day, it was just YouTubers and TikTokers everywhere. Like all of them just mingling. They had like a bunch of games around, and some of the stalls were still up to buy merch and stuff like that. And Ted, I'm a video editor for context, and Ted had DM'd me earlier, asked me to work with him.
Who's Ted?
Ted Nivison. Sorry, I should say that. Ted Nivison. So he DM'd me earlier, asked me to work for him, but I wasn't able to because I'm in college and I didn't have enough time to take on more work. But when we were there, I saw him. And me and Jay, we were kind of just scouting around, right? Like we're just like, oh, we'll see how we can get conversation going with people, right? Or how we can meet people and mingle and stuff like that. I think Ted was the first one that we saw, something like that. And I literally just went up to him and I was like, hey, I'm Zade, by the way. And he's like, Zade, wait. Like, and I was like, yeah, from Twitter. And then we just started talking just like that, based on the fact that he DM'd me a while ago, asked for a job. And he is so much taller in person.
And you're a tall guy
Dude,
yourself, so
How tall is he?
Yeah.
I'm 6'3", and this man was towering over me. He is huge. He is huge. But
He was a
He
mountain
was so nice, though. He was so nice. It was like just regular conversation. Because, okay, me and Jay were talking about this, right? There's people that come up to you as a fan, and then there's people that come up to you as like almost a mutual, right? And we did not want to come up as fans in any way whatsoever, right? So
Yeah, of course.
exactly. There's a difference. You automatically put yourself one step back if you come in as a fan.
You're
right?
sorted into a category. Like,
Exactly.
mentally,
Absolutely.
Exactly.
You know.
Yep.
And so having that, he DM'd me before, it was just that was the one up that I needed. That was my in. Like me and Jay were talking about our ins. Who was it that you talked to, Jay? Like your in was like Blender, I think. Is that when we talked to like?
Yeah. No,
Carl?
I talked to Anthony Antbo.
That's who it was.
Yeah. And we talked about Blender. He had a couple friends using Blender for a bunch of stuff, and we just kind of like were going back and forth about that. And I think like Ted also had waved. He waved Carl Jacobs over as well.
Yes.
To talk to you.
We were talking.
And that was
no,
like a whole-
that's who it was. Nolan. It was Nolan. We saw Nolan from the Mr. Beast videos.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I saw Nolan. He'd also DM me about work, and I same thing. Went up like, hey, I'm Zade the one, and then so he asked for my Twitter, but I think he thought I was a fan pretending to know him or something like that. I don't know, but like he wasn't defensive per se, but he was more just like, oh really, like show me your Twitter, like show me that I DM'd you. And I was like yeah, no, just show me your Twitter. I was like, yeah, no, I'm Zade. He's like, yeah, show me your Twitter though. And then I showed him, and he was like, oh
No,
yeah,
that's so legit though.
Yeah,
People
fair.
pretend a lot. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
And
no,
I think also like you're on Twitter, you only know someone by their
Yeah,
avatar.
that's me.
yeah, true,
Right?
true.
So if you ask someone to like edit, you're like, oh wait, which person was that again?
Yeah, he's probably asked a lot of people, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, he was also really nice. And then he got Carl Jacobs, also Mr. Beast stuff. And then we just started talking about editing and stuff for a while. And then he hired me. Like right there, he was like, oh, like, do you want to work with me? And I was like, he's like, yeah, no, we're building an editing team or whatever. Cause I think I should be able to say this. He's building up his channel again.
Nice.
With like a bunch, he's already got a bunch of videos prepped. I won't say what videos, but they're good. They're really good videos.
Yeah.
That I'm working
Hey,
on.
who is this?
Carl Jacobs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
And yeah, so he got me on his team, like basically right there and then. He DM'd me and then followed me, and like got his manager in contact and all of that. But yeah, that was the expo.
Just
hall.
by
Me and
saying hi
Jay
to
just,
Ted.
Like, meeting a bunch of people.
Wow.
Just by saying
You
hi
know
to
what's
Ted.
funny? Like,
That
hi
is
to
so
Nolan, all of
awesome.
it. Oh, it
but
was
that's
amazing.
how it is. Like
You
I
got a
remember,
job
like
right there.
in VidCon 2018 and 2019, it was the exact same. Like that's why I told a lot of the people around me, I was like, look, you guys are gonna not see me because I'm just gonna be running around talking to people constantly.
Honestly.
And so that's how I met Quackity. Like when we went to, remember, I don't know if you remember Laddi Rush, but like when we went to the animator crowd made party.
Yeah.
I didn't get to go to the crowd made party.
Never mind, me neither. And so basically,
I just wasn't with crowd made at the time.
We had little tacos.
Yeah. And at that party, it was like literally all animators, and then there was like this other table, and no one was talking to them because they were kind of amongst themselves. So I walked over near the end, and I was like, "Hey man, sorry that no one's been interacting. How you guys going?" And it ended up being like Quackity and like a few of the Minecraft YouTubers.
Oh damn.
And then like actually. And I was like, oh, okay. And at the time, they were not Minecrafters at all. They were just doing their own thing. And now it's like, oh, you guys are now huge, like massive people.
Wow.
And then like that's how you meet random people. And I think at the time, like you were telling me that you were just saying like, you approach as a fan or not a fan. That also differentiates. Like a lot of people do view it like that. Like, oh my God, you approach me as a fan, you approach me as not a fan, right? And I think what makes a good YouTuber is if you're able to just be humble about that. Because like there are definitely, I won't name anyone, there are some YouTubers that have a rep of treating fans really poorly.
Rushlight,
Like they're
Invader.
just like, oh, get away from me, right? Yeah, Rush.
Yeah.
And, Rush, would you punch that
It
kid
was.
right in the
Listen,
face? That
he
really
came up to me and
deserved it.
told me I was cringe. Okay.
Yeah, it was me.
And then I made out with you, obviously.
But I remember like when I walked up to Jacksepticeye. So a friend of mine had like this Polaroid that they wanted to sign YouTuber names on it, and they were like, I really love Jack. If you go and see Jack, please get it signed. And I was like, oh, that's gonna be cringe, but okay, whatever. And so when I walked up, that's the main thing that came into my mind. I'm now approaching as a fan and not like as a colleague in YouTube, But I was like, whatever, my friend wants it. It's also Jacksepticeye. He's probably big and doesn't remember anything, doesn't know me. I walked up to him and he's like, yeah, you're Jaden's friend. I met you like last year in that one obscure party that I went to. And I was like, oh, you know me.
We're buddies.
You still know me. I was like, hey, my friend wants a signature from you. And I have never been the same.
Aw.
That's so cute.
That is really funny. I don't want to. I have a whole thing. I don't want to meet Jacksepticeye because his whole thing is top of the morning to you laddies. And when I introduce myself, I'll be like, "Hi, I'm Laddi." Like,
He's the one he's been talking to.
I'm at the top of the morning.
you don't know
every
it, but
morning.
you've been telling me good morning every video you've made.
I am him.
Yeah, I am he.
It's me, the laddies.
I'm the laddies. Dude. Well, my mornings are always
So there you
great. at the top.
Wait, Zay, didn't you also get recognized just randomly?
Oh my goodness. I think one of the scariest moments of my life was someone recognized me. Cause I'm an editor, right? But I don't have, my face isn't really online, like in any way whatsoever. Like my character doesn't really even look like me in person because my hair is different and all of that stuff, right? And so I'm in a group. I think it was with Quite Rush, and were you there? Yeah, I think. Anyway, I was with a group of people.
He's a great guy.
Quite's
He's a
the best.
hero. I love that
the
man.
best.
Oh, listen,
He was the
really,
nicest guy.
Just
Quite so.
Quite's
so
like
nice.
Quite's amazing. I met him like this is the example of how like random socialization happened. I was with Zelinki and we went over to like a giant house that I only knew like Hyojin in, and we walked in and then there was like Quite, there was all these other big YouTubers, and they were just the nicest. And I remember Quite just being the most solid bloke ever, like just
easily.
amazing. And then he kept in contact like in Twitter and Discord, and I just cannot say
man.
much good things about him. He's just amazing. Yeah,
Good, Zed.
good guy.
Yeah, no, I agree. Quite was like easily one of the nicest people I met while I was there. But yeah. So we were in that group, and then these two other guys come over. I don't recognize it. Well, yeah, at the time I didn't recognize any of them, right? And they come over, and then they join the conversation, but they're kind of quiet. I was like, yeah, it's whatever. And then one of them looks at me, and then like just stares at me in the eye. I was like, "Whoa, like what's going on? Like, dude, am I supposed to like know this person or something?" And he's like, "Zade," and my heart froze. I was like, "Oh my god, how do they know who I am? What's going on?" But I realized it was on my badge. It said Zade, so that's how they recognized me. I forgot I wrote my name on my badge, and it was another editor. Another editor recognized me in person here. And it was the first time I'd been recognized.
Cool.
It was so cool. He was so nice as well. So it was nice meeting an editor in person as well. What was I talking about originally? Yes. So,
House of Blues. You want to wrap back
Oh,
around
yeah,
and like
what
actually
the
tell the
fuck?
House of
so,
Blues story now
so
that
the
we heard
whole
it?
point of
Yeah,
this
yeah.
context,
The whole point of this, this context.
meeting
I
people,
love
we
that.
met Ted, and all of this. Okay, so now that we've got all the characters in place, let's go. We get into the House of Blues. We walk in. Like immediately you walk in there and you recognize so many people. Like this was just
Therapy Gecko
it was a
was
party
there,
filled with
fucking everybody
yeah,
was there.
Therapy
Therapy Gecko was
Gecko.
there.
A
Lyle,
bunch of people were there.
Super chill.
Yeah, and so as me and Rush were getting some drinks and stuff, listening to the music, all of that stuff, and then Ted recognized me, and then we go over and say hi to him and all of that, and it's really chill, it's really nice. We see his group, but everyone is trying to get upstairs.
Yeah, our whole half our
I don't
group's
know
already
if
up there, just texting us like, "Come on up."
Everyone's upstairs, right? And we're trying to join them, but then now they've got bounce. I assume too many people try to go upstairs, so you have this bouncer security guy blocking the staircase up. And so what me and Rush do is we see people going in the elevator, so we're like, we should try that. Like, we should try to get them in. And so we tell Ted, we're like, "Hey guys, do you want to come with us? We're gonna go elevator, see if that takes us up." They're like, I don't know, but if it does work, just text me or whatever, and we'll come and meet you. So we do it. Me and Rush go over, but Nakey Jakey at this point, he was with them. He's like, "Screw that, I'm gonna go with them."
And Eddie Burback.
And so all of us go over. We're in the elevator. Who was there?
Eddie Burback,
Nakey
Nakey
Jakey,
and a couple of their friends.
and so we're all just sitting there in the elevator in silence. And I made a joke, and it made
You guys
him
just
laugh.
rip out a big one.
Genuinely. But I said some one-liner, and Nakey Jakey laughed, and that was the best moment of my life. But yeah, no, so we're just chilling in the elevator. We got up, it all works. You say, "Rush," I swear you had your starstruck moment. I was waiting for you to interrupt me, but no, you didn't want to bring that up.
I was like getting off the elevator or whatever. We were like, "Hey, big fan of you guys." I give them like little fist bumps, like Nakey and Eddie, and then I keep walking away.
Rush has not washed his hands since. That was the best moment of my life. But yeah, so it works. We get upstairs. We're like, "Nice. Okay, let's go get Ted." So I tried texting him, and I realized I don't have his number. Why would I have his number, right? I met him that day. I'm like, "Okay, I'll text him on Twitter." Why would he be checking his Twitter DMs right now? Anyway, I texted him on everything.
We tried to wave him down to yell his name, but the music's too loud.
Yeah, we tried waving him down from the top of the stairs. He didn't see us. We're like, "Oh crap, we gotta go down now to get him." So we go back down. We go over. We get them, and we're like, "Yo, guys, it worked. We're going upstairs." And then he gets his girlfriend, and then whoever else was with him, that group. We're all ready. We're like, "Okay, sweet. Let's all go over to the elevator," and they blocked it off.
As we're getting in, we're stepping in.
I swear we got a foot in the door.
Security comes running over.
Right?
Bro.
Yeah, like we got a foot in
man.
the elevator, we're ready, and security sprints over and pulls us all out. And we're like, no way, that's so embarrassing. And we're like, and I'm just looking at Ted like, I swear it worked. It did, guys, please. I just felt so embarrassed.
That timing on that sucks, though.
I know.
Honestly,
I know.
it's on him though, right? He asked you to text him and didn't give you his number.
Oh,
like,
you know what?
Yeah.
Rush didn't even come with me. I remember.
No,
this.
I went down
I
with
was
you.
like-
What the fuck? I went down.
I was like, wait, no. I was like, Rush, if we go down, we might not get
No,
back
yeah,
up.
yeah.
He's like, no, Zade, come on.
Yeah, I was trying to
we got
convince him. I was like,
this."
come on, we can get back
Right.
up.
He's like, what are they gonna do? Not let us back up?
Hard cut. They're not letting me go.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did. Yeah, that party was amazing though.
yeah, they had the Chainsmokers performing,
Yes.
which was kind of wild.
Oh
Wait.
God.
And you know what? The craziest thing about it is that when people are like, "Hey, like the Chainsmokers are gonna be on," I realized I have zero idea what the Chainsmokers look like. I don't even know who's in that band.
It's a
Yep.
male and female, right? Like a male and female.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
You could show me a group of four
Anyone-
white guys, and I'd be
anyone
like,
I
yeah,
really
takes
did
one up
not
there,
do a good
and I
job.
would have been like,
I said-
"That's the Chainsmokers." Yeah, for sure.
It's actually me. I'm the Chainsmokers.
That's why you couldn't find you.
Yeah,
Drop on
because I was
stage.
I'm on stage already. You guys.
Yeah, the music was good though. Wait, do you guys know who Flo Milli is? Like,
No,
Flo Milli?
no.
I
think
remember you were gushing over it, though.
How did
were
none
like-
of you?
you were
Does no
nerding
one
out
know
about it.
her? Anyway, rapper Flo Milli.
Do we look? Do you think that we're the type of people who are like
That's such a
super
good
I know
into
Nelly.
underground? rap?
I thought Maaz would have known her though. I feel like Maaz would have known her.
Who is this?
Flo
Can you
Milli.
sing one of her songs, please?
she's-
I
First
don't
thing
know
in the day.
Flo
Go ahead.
I got ass from my head to my. I don't actually know.
I
the
love that
lyrics to her songs. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
I
I've
actually
heard
know
that
that
song.
song.
You'll know it,
Yeah,
right? You know it,
that's
right?
on
Right.
TikTok.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's on TikTok. Well,
Yeah.
her song's on TikTok, right? So it's
Ah,
really,
dope.
she's really good, right?
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
And me and Rush walk in the building, and I hear her song. I was like, oh wow, they're actually playing good music. And me and Rush, we're scouting around, seeing what the whole room is, and we walk in, and she's there performing. She's there in front of us performing the song. And I was like, huh. Flo Milli's here. That's crazy. And I turn right, and James Charles is there, throwing it back.
I was gonna say that.
Yep.
James Charles.
I turn around,
fuck with
and James Charles is right there. And I was like, what?
I was like, what?
It was
You
amazing.
gotta watch out. You're on the perfect age, Zade. Get away.
I did think about saying hi to him, but I think one of his friends said hi to me. I thought about pretending to be gay just for a moment, just to speak to them. But I decided not to.
I don't think you had
he
had
touched
to
my
pretend to be
shoulder.
gay
His
to
friends like
speak
the
to-
bouncer being like, "I'm sorry, sir. Are you?
No, but he
Or are
tapped
you
my
a-
Don't
shoulder.
talk to me unless you're gay.
Yeah.
He tapped my shoulder. I was like, oh, but maybe I should flirt back. I don't know.
You just tap his shoulder back, like, yeah, that's how you like it."
Yeah, you like that, don't
This
you?
means I'm gay.
Simple as that.
I can change it.
No, he was just walking around. I was like, okay.
No, he was chilling. I didn't want to disturb him because I feel like in that scenario, I had no in. Everyone's drinking. They're all having fun. I was like, yeah, I don't want to walk. Hi, you're James Charles, right? Or anything. So, yeah.
How about you,
Yeah.
JayDotJay? What's some crazy shit that went down for you?
I went to so Spotify had a party that was at Disneyland. They literally shut down Disneyland, the Pixar Pier, and they only let like people from like you had to be a feature creator, you had to get a +1, right? And they only were letting people with like the thing in there. And so we had a private party for like the animation community at that we had just like wrapped up right beforehand. But I ended up going to Disneyland, and I was waiting in line with like Adam Zielinski, and the lady was like coming by, and she was like, and you could only get like 1 + 1 per thing, right? And Zielinski was with Adam, so he was like, Adam was kind of like, hey, listen, like we're gonna try, but like if we can't get you on, sorry, bro. But she just like they were going down, they're checking people and doing stuff, and I was like, shit, I'm gonna be like left. I'm gonna be hung out to dry. But I noticed that they were also giving out these like big hoodies, these big green like Spotify hoodies basically, So I was like, you know what? Let's just go. I'm gonna wing it. Just gonna power walk my way through. Because like a lot of times you can like kind of get past the thing. And so the way I managed to like get in is that we went already through the ticket area, and there are just people standing at the entrance, and they had flashlights, and they were looking to see if you had they would give you like a blue wristband if they had like verified that you're on a thing, right? So I'm walking with like Adam Zelinski and also V-Star and Maddie are there too. We're all in this group, so we're all talking. I have like the hoodie. I don't have anything, and I'm just like, you know what? As we go past the people, I'm like, hey, hold on a second, guys, and I put on the hoodie as I'm like going through. So my arms are already like obscured from like the people, right? And I come out and I kind of like flash my wrist, and I have like all these like wristbands I've collected over to kind of obscure the thing. But they just kind of like they flicked the flashlight to me a second. They looked and they're like, all right, you're good. So I was able to sneak into Disneyland after they had like shut everything down, and that was crazy. That was like that was wild.
What all went down at that sexy party?
Well, I mean, like they had all the Pixar Pier rides. You could essentially just get in line and ride for free. What? They had free. Each of the Disneyland stands had free food that they were just giving out. There's one of the stands literally made me take a whole like bag of food. Because of they were like, we're gonna throw it out, so like I had a whole bag. But then we also like we ended up meeting there's a streamer known as Crumb.
They're famous.
They have like they have like a cardboard box that they wear as like that is kind of like a mask kind of thing, right? And they were just like,
sorry.
Yeah, right. It was
That's what the point of the mask is. Yeah, sorry.
That was the point. We go and we're talking, like we're just like chatting with them and everything, and they're like, oh, do you want to like do you want to try the you want to try it on? Because they were like taking photos of like all the different creators trying on the box, and I was like, oh yeah, it's super cool. And I like they give it to me, and then I like because I have a plate of tater tots in my hand. So I take it and I drop it on the floor, and then in my like attempt to catch it as it's falling, I then spilled like all the tater tots over it. So it's just like completely, and it was like I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, and I had to do the thing. But they were laughing so hard, and they've like tweeted about it like twice since then, being like, hey, yeah, to the animator who like said my box was cool and then spilt tater tots over it. I still think about it and laugh. Like forever.
Do you have a video for it?
I wish. I don't think anyone is filming at the time. I should animate that though, right? I should just be like, oh, this entire like the story going down.
That's unfortunate.
But yeah, we were able to like just write a bunch of the different stuff, and the entire place was closed down. It was weird just like recognizing most of the faces at Disney World, right? Or Disneyland, I guess.
It's crazy. Like you spilled tater tots on her box.
There's so many ways you could have. Why did you say it like that?
What's wrong with you, JayDotJay? You should be ashamed.
I actually was like, I was always prepared to just like turn around and walk away, but they were super cool about it. They didn't like do all.
Do you have that tweet still? Do you have it saved or?
I didn't. Yeah, I do actually. I got it like, yeah, I can fetch it up. But yeah, that was like the Spotify party. They've never done anything like that before, right? Like shutting down part of Disneyland. So they did go like pretty far for a lot of the
outside events, just not for the general public.
Yeah. The feature events, but like the actual convention itself, if you just went to the convention yourself, it was all right.
I'm glad that you guys had like a really good time, even though you spilled tater tots literally everywhere.
Even though I just completely wrecked this person's like iconic visage. That like you know what I mean? It's like their entire brand is in this thing, and I was just kind of like.
Do you have like I want to see their tweets about it.
Okay, let me get I'm literally bringing him up.
That's so funny. It's like people keep saying like, oh, you spilled spaghetti everywhere. That you literally, that is exactly what you did. You just spilled tater tots.
They'll remember you forever.
I hope so.
Literally,
I mean, like,
if you ever see them again, just be like, I was the tater tots guy, and then they'll know immediately.
They were at TwitchCon, which we also ended up going to. Yeah.
I didn't see them.
I didn't see them the first time. Actually, security basically told them they couldn't go in if they were to wear
to TwitchCon.
Yeah, like on the third day or whatever.
What?
Yeah.
Because their
That's
head.
whack.
Was it because of
Why? Did they not have badges or?
No, they had the thing. They didn't want the I think it's maybe it was a privacy thing, but it wasn't communicated to them earlier in the thing. It was just one day they're like, no, if you come back, if you're wearing this thing, we'll have to ban you from the convention.
Wow.
Oh dang.
Here's the one tweet.
I'll never forget the person who told me my box was super cool and then proceeded to accidentally drop it when I handed it to him and then spilled tater tots all over it. It was so funny.
Yeah, and then this one's from earlier. So 3 months apart, they'll still think about it, and they're like
3 months apart.
Oh my god. You made history,
Watch
Jay.
that later. Shout out to Disneyland who later tried my mom. He dropped it, spilled a lot of tater tots, and I thought and started laughing again.
So there you go. That was my little bit.
That is
awesome.
so funny. And
I
they're
love that they still
17. You
think
just
about
bullied a
it.
17-year-old.
I just bullied this kid.
You just bullied this.
Stop bullying people. I bullied Zade a lot during America when he came by.
You did.
During the whole time, I kept gaslighting on things, just for fun. I love
What?
gaslighting Zade. He's my little
No, he
man.
did. He
Okay,
really
no,
did.
tell your gaslighting story. I have a great
Yeah.
gaslighting story.
Alright,
Go
so
on,
we're
go on.
Everyone was gaslighting me.
Disneyland, right?
Everyone's
We're at
gaslighting.
Disneyland.
Yeah, oh my god, I forgot about my gaslighting story about Zade. That's
Yeah,
right.
don't forget my gaslighting story. Everybody's got a
Yeah, we
Zade
love
gaslighting
gaslighting
story.
I'm gullible, guys. What can I say?
So we're at Disney, right? The whole time just fucking with this man, just saying random shit here and there. Like, yeah, you're gonna die. You fucking better watch out, Zade. This goes at 100 miles an hour. He's like, fucking and whatever. He hates heights. I don't know. Zade, are you afraid of heights or just afraid of this fast shit?
I hate heights.
Perfect.
I'm
Stop being tall then.
terrified.
Anyways, we're
Wow.
going on these rides. He's freaking out. The first roller coaster we're on, he looks serious, scared. Like, he's so funny. Look at this man. Look at this image.
Oh,
So look at that funny
Disney.
man.
Yeah.
And so, end of the night, he tracked down Black Widow finally. Says he starts pushing this little kid out the way. He's like, "Move, little man." Takes a picture with Black Widow. She's like, "Oh, this guy." And then he sends it to his brother or whatever, and he cries. I don't know. We go on Guardians of the Galaxy, which I'm like, Zade, the whole time gaslighting. Zade, this ride goes up and drops you.
Zade, it's not that
Yeah,
bad, Zade.
it's not that bad.
That's what we were
Yeah,
telling you. Me and JayDotJay were both like, we've
That's
been on it
so
before.
funny.
It's not that bad. It's fine.
Yeah.
And as we're about to get in, I'm like, yeah, it dropped from the high bit. There is just a seatbelt, no straps to hold you in from flying off. He's like, just a seatbelt? You're lying, Rush. Rush, you're lying, bro. I'm like, fucking okay, man. All right, I'm lying. And so we're about to get up, and they're like, hey, hold up, this little kid. He's like, we have to measure your little boy. All right, he's tall enough. And the kid's like, yeah, whatever.
Measure
A
your
little boy, and he's just calm. This little boy's just calm. Zade's freaking out in contrast. He's like,
I'm freaking out.
oh, Zade, Rush, you're lying. You have to be lying. You're gaslighting me all day. You're lying. It doesn't take us to drop us. Just seat belts. I'm like, look when the door's open. Door's open. We start walking in. He's like, he screams out in public, no! I'm like, get in. And he's like, come on, no! And like, get. I'm pushing him in. He's like, Rod, I hate you. I'm gonna kill you or something. I'm like, I sit him
I
down.
was freaking out, man.
What's going through your mind this whole time, Zade? Anyway,
I was all right at the beginning because everyone was so calm, but the closer we got, people started dropping out like flies. People be like, okay, you know what? I don't know if I'm gonna do this one again. yeah, no, I'm looking at it now. I don't think I'm gonna do it, Rush. And then people are dropping out. I'm like, guys, why do you want me to do it then? If you guys are all scared of this, why would you do this to me? And then the whole seatbelt thing. That's one thing. Oh, they're not gonna have seatbelts. Rush has gaslit me about 12 times already at this point. So I'm like, he's lying at this point. I was wrong. They opened the doors. There's nothing but a seatbelt, and I'm just looking at the instructor guy, whoever's like sorting the ride. I was like, no, please, no, come on.
Listen. I'm about to share this beautiful photo. I will find it. We will take a moment in time. Hold up.
What's the photo about? Like, what's the photo?
It's the photo of us on the ride. Like, and you can see Zade's reaction.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's so good.
You can
I'm
hear my
sitting
voice in
on
this
this-
reaction as well. Like you can hear me in this
Yeah.
picture.
I just remember I'm sitting in front, right? Me and Laddi and Nini are in front, and
Yeah.
Alice and Zade and Rush are in the back. And they do a thing where they're like, they have the Guardians kind of like, come on, do a little bit. And then when it drops, I just hear shrieking from behind me. It's like it's Alice screaming, and it's Zade yelling, and it's Rush cackling in laughter. As he's just like, they're just freaking out as we're going up and down. Oh my god.
And there's this point where like you get to the very top and then they take your picture and I'm like screaming and freaking out the whole time, but as soon as they take the picture I put like peace sign. I'm like and then like we go back down and I go back to screaming and like
There was a bit where they tried to when we first dropped, we had to put our hands up. He's like, all right, everyone put your hands up. We scan your hands, and we scan our hands, and it drops instantly. Zade's like, screaming like a little girl, and then like the little kid in the background are like, just chilling. He's just like not screaming, and he's looking at Zade weird. He's like, and it's like at first Zade just passes out after we stopped the first drop. Yet Zade passes out. His head drops hard.
I was gone.
And I'm like, oh no, he just fucking passed out. Oh no, I'm worried. And then when we going back up again and then drop again, he lifts his head, starts screaming again. And then at that moment when he started screaming again, like he was just faking being passed out just to close his eyes, he's scared. I was losing my shit. I was the happiest moment of my life. Sex has nothing comparison.
What's wrong with you?
that was me posing for the picture. Dude, look at Zade's face.
I wasn't even.
You literally kidnapped him to come to this country, and then you made him pass out. Wait, who's that behind you?
Some guy also enjoying the moment.
Wait, Rusty. Hide that. What the hell? JJ, you look dead as well.
No, I was also like at that I keep trying to breathe out every time I hit the apex, so my breath isn't caught as we fall all the way down. So right there is me going, oh, I'm just like trying to just blow all the air out of my lungs.
Nuna's trying to throw up gang signs because she knew when the camera was coming on.
What the hell is that with the Black Widow?
That's his wife.
There was a kid that really wanted a picture with Black Widow, but I also really wanted a picture with Black Widow. So.
It was
Black Widow,
dressed
bro.
as like Captain America.
But why?
And so she took him on a little tour and everything. And in the meantime, there's this group of like 6 adults who are like following her because they don't want the photo.
Maaz is generally just a child, their mom. They're like Black was like, oh, like you want to see the Avengers Tower? They're walking around the park. We're following less than a foot behind them every step of the way. And I'm just like, if this kid doesn't hurry up,
I'm decking real good.
Why did he want a photo with this random Black Widow?
It was just because I saw her.
I saw her.
It was love at first sight, Maaz.
Yeah, come on, Maaz. You're at Disneyland and you see Black Widow and you're not gonna take a picture with her? Come on.
No, I'm not 12.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Too far, Maaz.
Yeah,
Too far.
you would say that.
Yeah, was
All
that
right.
too judgmental? Sorry, VidCon. Yeah, sorry, my bad. Yeah. My bad, guys.
Disneyland was great, though.
Rush, were you happy about that?
My life's complete. All right.
Oh,
I
he
can
was
tell.
so
I can literally
happy.
see how happy you are in
He
this
was
photo.
the happiest I've ever seen.
We got to the apex.
I've never seen Rush as happy in this photo.
Like, I've known Rush for 6 years, and never in my life have I seen him that happy.
There's a bit where they kept like, there's a screen in the Guardians ride. They just have screens of like, the characters fucking around before you drop. I always try to convince Zade to look at the screens. Like, look, it's just screens. And I guess he peeked at one point and was like, yeah, those are screens. And at the last drop, it's the whole view of the city, not a screen. And he hates that. And he saw it. And he's like, I hate you, right? And he dropped and we great times.
I was fighting for my life on that thing.
Oh, you can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My face does not reflect my feelings at all. I was ready for the picture, but the rest of it, I was looking like Zade.
I've never screamed so much.
I can't do drops, man.
No.
You cannot breathe, man. It's just like
It puts my fight or flight is in like Well,
Yeah.
I heard Zade as well. Rush keeps talking about a chicken tier list. What's that about?
Okay,
What's happening
so,
there?
First time in America, I heard a lot of things about the chicken. Right, I had a whole list on my phone before. I went there.
What did you hear?
Hold up.
No,
intro
I heard a
alone?
whole thing that chicken in America is different from here.
Absolute cap.
No,
No
trust
cap,
me,
Zade.
trust me. People like you have all these like Texan. You know how there's like special barbecues, like Texan barbecues, and like what's it? A grill? No, not a grill out.
Propane.
Whatever it is. Yeah,
Cookout?
and they've got like macaroni, and then like you want to be invited to the cookout.
That's not chicken,
That's what it is.
Zade. That's-
Cookout.
The cookout.
All of the
Yeah,
cookout
yeah.
stuff, and like Texan fried chicken and all of that. It's so good. I was like, huh, okay. And I already had a list of a bunch of places that aren't in the UK. That I really wanted to try, and I realized most of them had chicken on them. Right, I had Buffalo Wild Wings, like McDonald's McSpicy, Chick-fil-A, Popeye, and I was like, okay, all of these are chicken-based stuff, right? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just make a tier list of all these places and say, if they're overhyped, if they're accurately hyped, if they're good, if they're bad, and I went to about I think 10 places, something like that, and I have the final verdict here. So, Pim's Taste Kitchen. This was Disneyland. It was just like a little restaurant. What was it? Ant-Man themed restaurant, which by the way was really cool. Like they had pretzels that got bigger and smaller. They looked so sick. But yeah, so Pim's Kitchen, C. It was mid. It was too crispy, too chewy. Whatever. We went to a chicken and waffles place. D. That was ass. It was salty. it was everything wrong with chicken. We went to Jollibee's. Never heard of that before going there. C. Not enough flavor. Japanese barbecue though.
Ooh.
That was an A tier.
Hell yeah.
That was incredible. Japanese barbecue was amazing.
What Japanese barbecue is so
It
good.
was so good. I loved it. I wish I could go back.
I love it.
Panda Express.
What's wrong with Panda Express? You don't like it?
Express. Panda Express was the best thing I've ever had in my life.
No. I was gonna say, bro, Panda Express. If he said anything wrong about Panda Express, I was gonna beat
I wanted to go back to
outta me.
America just for
Yeah.
Panda Express.
orange chicken.
Oh,
Orange
that's
chicken.
what I
Easy,
have,
orange-
Maz.
Let's go,
Orange
dude.
chicken S tier. Oh my god, it was amazing.
Orange
It
chicken,
was
so
like
good.
Rush was hyping up. He was like, "Oh, you'll love Panda Express." Da, da, da. And I was like, "Oh, what should I get?" He was like, "Get the orange chicken. You won't regret it. Get the orange chicken." He blessed my taste buds. But I also hate him because I've not had anything that matches it so far.
Yeah, he was crying the other day. He was
Wow.
telling me, he's like, man, I can't.
Generally,
I'm gonna cry.
I can't stop thinking. Like we've got Nando's here, and Nando's. I love Nando's, but
I love Nando's.
I think I'd trade it for Panda Express. Like we were at our Airbnb.
I actually rate that. I rate
We were
that.
at our
I rate
Airbnb
that.
and I ordered
Wow.
Panda Express just 'cause, like after the first time I could not have it again. I swear this was like the next day. It was a day too many that I hadn't had it. But yeah, Panda Express was
Wasn't like a
amazing. Easy S
a
tier.
food truck like S tier at VidCon for a while?
That's-
they started
that's
remembering
next.
your name.
That's
Oh,
next one.
Okay, never mind. My bad.
Buen Appetit. So Buen Appetit was we don't have food trucks here really in the UK. We really just have like ice cream vans and stuff like that. But yeah, so Buen Appetit was like a I guess local or whatever food truck. They made the best chicken burger I've had in my life. Nothing has come close. And I'm not joking when I say I had 3 a day for the 3 times I was in VidCon.
Mm-hmm.
I had 9 of those shit. I think I ran that place. I'm the reason those people got paid.
Didn't they start remembering you by name?
They remembered my name. They'd be like, "Hey, Zade, the usual chicken burger." I was like, "Yep, that's the one. That's the one."
Just go back to
it
Jaden's
was
booth,
amazing.
work, and then come back for more chicken.
Every single time. It was so good. Chick-fil-A, that was an A tier because it tasted really good, but it was too small. Like I wanted more for my chicken. Raising Cane's was B tier. That was from James recommended that one actually, I think. And Buffalo Wild Wings.
Did he have In-N-Out?
No, wait, did we have
Yeah,
that?
you had In-N-Out. You
In-N-Out
passed
doesn't have
out to
chicken.
In-N-Out. Remember?
That's where In-N-Out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably why it wasn't on the list then. But do they? Wait, but they
No,
don't.
no,
do
they don't have
JJ,
chicken.
explain
They
the
don't have
story
chicken.
about
That's
the
not chicken.
In-N-Out.
They don't have chicken.
Now, okay, well, yeah. So I went to In-N-Out. I was, I think I I maybe drank a little too much, or something like
Yeah,
that. I
well,
have no idea.
I was just ordering. We both decided to go to In-N-Out. I was ordering and like Zade is like kind of like playfully like punching my back for a little bit, and I'm like, oh okay, and then suddenly he's just like leans on top of him like me, right? And I'm just like, what? What's the like? He's like, and I'm like, whoa, Zade, listen, like I love you, but this is a little, I'm ordering here. He literally then like the weight like falls off me, and I hear everyone like gasp behind me, and I turn around, and they'd had passed out. Like he was like behind me, passed out, put on top of me, and then fell backwards. So he's just in the middle of the floor, in and out. And I had to like tap him on the face to be like, hey, bro, you're good.
Yeah.
And he just kind of like was like, whoa, what happened?
And the rapper.
I KO'd. I was there. I blinked, and when I opened my eyes, all I saw was black. And I was like, oh no, this is not good. So I kind of like pushed forward so I could like lean on Jay. And then he slightly nudges me back. That's all it took. I just stumbled, and I felt my body crumble, and I passed out. And I opened my eyes, and everyone's like gathered around me. And I just get up as if nothing happened. And it's our turn to order next. So the lady's like, so Jay just starts ordering. And then I say my thing, and he's like, Are you okay, by the way? And I was like, yeah, no, don't worry. That just happens. It's all good. And then I'm like, yeah, Jay, I need to sit down. So I went over, I sat down, and I am so sure I could be capping out of my ass. Do you know who Cochise is or Cochise? Another rapper.
Sing his song. Sing one of his songs.
Okay, I know for a fact you will all know his music. I need to find a song.
Like, as in, like, why do you spell his name?
Cochise.
Damn, I just really wanted you to sing.
Song.
Gosh darn it.
Yeah, turn it up. Oh wait, no, that's a newer one. You might know that. Tell him what's up. Tell him his song. Tell him what's up. Tell him his song. Okay, yeah.
That's all good, man.
Anyway, if you listen to one of his songs, if you listen to the song, you'll definitely know him. But I'm so sure he was there, and he came over to me, and he was like, I mean, maybe this is a fever dream, but he was like, hey, like, are you okay, man? I was like, yeah, no, it's all good. And I'm so sure they're like, whatever burger for Cochise or Cochise. And I was like, wait, what? And I didn't clock it until we left. And I was talking to Jay, and I was like, I think that was Cochise back there. I'm so sure. But what puts me off it is that, like what Jay mentioned, I don't think he would have gone by Cochise, right? Like, I don't think he would have ordered his burger and be like, oh, for Cochise or whatever. But I don't know.
I do not know this song. I'm literally listening to it right now. I do not know this song.
No?
I don't know who this guy is.
Damn.
Yeah, sorry. And look, I love rap, man. But recently I've been on a JID phase. So
JayDotJay? No
Sorry,
way.
man.
His new album? Oh my
yeah, man.
God.
Bro, he's so
I'm on
good.
that.
Shut the
He's
hell
gutted.
up. Okay, good. If you slept on him, bro, I would get mad. Laddi, you'd be literally, I can see you saying Twitch. So just,
Twitch.
do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, maybe. Well, since we're speaking of convention,
Yeah. We're not talking about VidCon anymore. We're gonna.
No, I mean, I don't like talking about the convention that I couldn't really go to. So.
Yeah, very reasonable.
So
How
valid.
could you?
No, but I'm really glad that like everyone had a good time and that Zade, you had your first time. Was it your first time in America?
It was my first time in America, yeah.
Oh, I'm glad it was a
Out of
good
10, how
time.
much?
Oh, I loved it.
Like that's awesome.
9 out of 10. actually.
But a convention that I could go to. Me and JayDotJay snuck into TwitchCon just like on a whim. You wanna expand
Yeah,
on it?
we were like,
JayDotJay?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I was on Twitter. I was just looking at everyone like going to TwitchCon and doing a thing, and I just looked at Laddi and I was like, "Do you want to go?"
Dude, he literally like I'm just chilling. Me and my roommate are just chilling, and he walks into our room. It's like Wednesday night, 2 days before the convention starts. He's like, "Do you guys want to go to TwitchCon?" And I was like, I don't know. It's like I don't really know anybody at Twitch. And then he's like, okay, well. I'm putting it out there, just sleep on it. And I'm like, okay. And then fast forward to the next morning, I go to JayDotJay, he's sitting in the kitchen, and I'm like, I want to go to TwitchCon, let's do it. So
Yep.
we just start planning it right then and there, Thursday, the day before the convention. We're just like, okay, tickets are sold out at this point. by the way. So
We have to do a little finessing, basically.
just a little.
Listen, you might say I'm something of a graphic designer myself. All I'm gonna put out there is that a lot of people take a lot of photos at TwitchCon, and in those photos they just have their badges, just like, they take the pictures of the back and the front and the whole thing. And if you're skilled enough as an artist, and Photoshop's in your possession, all sorts of stuff can happen. So, long story short, we rent a Tesla. By the way, full self-driving is like it's life-changing. For me, it was life-changing. It was wild.
It's like, not only is the story of sneaking into TwitchCon enough to expand onto the story where we rented a Tesla.
and just like, we rented a Tesla like out of the blue, and because I didn't want to drive all the way.
The whole time.
Yeah, so we just had it like self-drive all the way down to San Diego.
Yeah, it was 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Yeah, 2.5 hours.
Just to get
Self-driving
a
is legal there.
Yeah.
Especially in Cali.
And they also
That's actually kind of high.
I didn't know this,
to be honest.
but Teslas have a karaoke app, so you can like
Teslas
sing
have a
karaoke.
app.
Yeah, in the like car.
It's genius because I'm
Well, it's
singing all
driving
the time
you,
in the car.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Didn't you get like the
the heck?
Tesla through like a website?
Yeah. I got it through this site called Turo that just allows you to like rent. It's like Airbnb but for cars.
Yeah.
That's the future right there.
That's it. That's it, baby.
It's pretty good. You want to talk about how you did it, JJ? How it went? When we went to TwitchCon?
What, Laddi? Why did you lean into your microphone for that? I heard that.
I'm just kind of holding it.
Give
but-
me 1 sec because I need to grab the laptop charger. I didn't notice I don't have it here. It's about to die. Give me a sec.
Oh,
I
okay.
can't believe you forgot about the passing out story there, you silly bean. You're Dr.
bad.
Maaz. What the fuck was wrong with Zade?
Please explain.
That's a vasovagal syncope.
Eat more bagels.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, vasovagal syncope.
Gotta eat more bagels, Zade. Come on.
Basically, what happens? It's like, when you cut yourself, like when some people hurt themselves and they're like, oh gosh, and then they pass out. It's basically your body, in layman's terms, releasing a chemical that makes your blood vessels dilate, and because everything dilates all around your body, all of the blood that was in your brain kind of gets drained into the other areas.
Is the
and
best
then you pass
situation to
out.
do is just raise the legs?
Yeah. So when people have any kind of like syncope, which syncope just means when you pass out. When you pass out, the best situation is just lie them down and put their legs up so the blood pools back down. It's actually what we do in
I
hospitals.
heard a story recently about
wow.
that, and I was like, oh, did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why you pass out, because your brain wants you to lie down so it can get blood. Like, it literally is a mechanism.
So you should wear like a sticker on your shirt, Zade, that says, "If I pass out, lift my legs." You're welcome. I saved your
That
life.
was a lot. So I will
Yeah,
keep
your
that
legs
in
will take
mind.
forever to lift up.
Yeah.
Just tattoo
My
it.
legs
Zed.
are not that
just,
long.
You're a long man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So anyway,
Oh, hey, JJ.
How's it going?
Oh hey.
you want to talk about how you did the TwitchCon?
Yeah,
thing?
we had it. Okay. We had to go all over trying to find a place
Oh my
that
god. Dude.
just had a plug. We just needed to
So we have this laminator. JJ had this laminator. We got we spent freaking hours at Staples recreating this thing.
Yeah.
But we did it. We printed them out. We got them done. And then we're like, okay, now we just need to laminate them. JJ had the laminator already, so we could do it for free. But it's like one of those laminators that needed to be plugged in. So we were like, okay, well, we were already at Staples. We were sick and tired of Staples. We wanted to get out of that Staples as soon as possible. So we were like, okay, we can just go to like a cafe or something, plug in the, because we didn't have a hotel at this point because we already had checked out because hotels were booked. So we were nomads, like literally, like we were booking hotels the day of and like just hoping that it wasn't already booked out. But anyway, so we go to like Starbucks so we can plug in his laminator to laminate these things. And tell me how the Starbucks we walked through in and out, it didn't have one. And I'm like, since when does Starbucks not have a plug-in outlet? So we're like, okay, I guess Starbucks is a no-go. Let's go to this like McDonald's nearby or whatever. So we go to McDonald's because sometimes McDonald's will have like a plug. They didn't have one either. So we're like, we gotta the TwitchCon for the day is already. This is the second day of TwitchCon, by the way. So it's already like halfway over, and we're still like haven't even walked into the convention center yet. We go to another Starbucks and we walk up to the door, and the door is like, there was an electric fire, so this Starbucks is closed. And we're like, we drove another like 20 minutes to get there when it was closed.
It has electrical fire. And the entire thing was out, and we were just like, we were
over it. We drove to like 4 different places, trying to just find an outlet to plug in his laminator. So we just, JJ's like, I'm walking until we find a place. So we're in like an area that's like, it's got enough places to, we'd probably find one. We see this building like way in the distance, and it's like FedEx office. And we're like, what does that even mean? And we were like, okay, let's just go there. It's our last like chance. We just gotta go. It's like 3:00. The convention ends at 6.
Yeah.
So we walk into this freaking FedEx, and it has everything we ever needed.
Yeah.
It has a printer. It has a laminator. It has like a cutter for like to cut. And it just had literally everything that we needed.
Yeah.
We should have just went there first.
Wow.
We should have just went there first.
We spent so long going to all these places, and we should have just gone
It's
there
like 3
first.
hours into it, looking for a thing.
We didn't know that like FedEx had an office like space that you can just walk into and do stuff. And so we start laminating it, and finally, like, what time is it? 4:00. We have 2 hours left to get to this convention and like go. So we drive over. It's like 4:30 now. We only have an hour and a half left. So tell him what you told me like when we were like gonna sneak in. He was like,
"Oh no, so basically the strategy is to like because we weren't sure if the color matched, which our first pass didn't exactly, but like, you know, what can you do? And so I was like, listen, we gotta have a thing where we're gonna walk. We're gonna have the badge face like the TwitchCon side, and then as we go closer, we'll flip it around, and hopefully like it will distract the guards enough to like not look too hard at the actual like color of the yellow and the thing.
He had like a water bottle, and he had a coffee, and he gave me his coffee, and he's like, hold this in front of your badge and just kind of like act confident about it. And
I was like, we're just gonna power walk. We're gonna go through. We're gonna look at them, nod, and don't even wait for their confirmation. We're gonna walk through like we're supposed to be already in the thing. Because I gave us like the highest like, you know, tier of whatever, so we could just
get everything.
I just wanted to see how TwitchCon was, right? Because like we hadn't been. I've never been to a TwitchCon before, and there's a lot of stuff going on with Twitch, and we're like, maybe this might be one of the last ones we're able to go to
before it all explodes.
So we're just kind of like, I don't know if you've seen this stuff on social media, but apparently this TwitchCon had a lot of issues going back and forth. It was a girl broke her back.
Oh, I saw that.
In the ball pit, the foam pit.
Oh man. So we, you know,
the ball pit.
The ball pit.
It's always a ball pit at convention somewhere. It's always a trouble. Piss.
The venue I think is better than LA and San Diego for TwitchCon. I think that the area is better.
It's a lot bigger, the San Diego Convention Center.
Yeah. But then the actual partners, there's only one partner lounge up there, and it wasn't anything like what the VidCon stuff is like. I don't know. It goes back and forth. They did the dream what they did to the animation community in 2018, where they stuck him in a room of like 400 people, and we're like, it's okay. And then there was a huge fire hazard, right? And they had to get staff involved. Yeah, the whole thing.
Those are next year, if it's still around.
There's like this like partner hallway that like only partners can get into. So there is a guard blocking the partner hallway, and we were able to get in there just fine. But it was weird because like there was just a bunch of fans just sitting around, like lined in a row, like outside of where the hallway was, just waiting to hopefully like see their favorite creator walk out. And I was like, man.
Yeah, it was weird. Like it was like anyone could go up until that point, and then they had to bail. It was we walked in. I remember the first, like when we walked into the first time, there was also another group. We went all the way to the end, and it was Ludwig. Ludwig had somehow snuck past everyone else,
he's not a Twitch
right
partner.
ahead of us.
Wait a minute.
Exactly, right? Someone had to he did this exact same thing. He snuck in at TwitchCon exactly the same way. Someone like took him up to the partner place. He said hi to everybody and then dipped. Yeah, we weren't the only ones pulling a little heist.
Playing a little heist.
It was our heist.
It was our heist.
It was our heist, and it was successful. But
We ended up getting there.
JJ's the sneaking in guy.
I've done it. I like sneaking into events, just because it's like, I don't know. It's something that like, you know, there's a social order, I think, of like, you know, and I like to disrupt it every once in a while, just to like, you know, prove I can do it, I guess. The best story I have regarding this is about a movie premiere. This is probably like the highlight of like my sneaking in career, my like, you know, stealthy trying to heist into stuff career. We had an Airbnb on Hollywood Boulevard, right? And right before I came to LA, I told all my friends my number one goal, I want to sneak into the red carpet premiere of a movie, right? And like see like actual like celebrities and stuff. And so we noticed they closed down the street for this event, and they're, you know, they have all the stuff. They have the staff going in and out. And so I'm like, okay, let's see if I can make something happen here. I go in and I noticed that like, you know, people have like badges and stuff, but the staff going in and out, they're all dressed in black, and they only have like a yellow like wristband, right? Like the notes that they're part of staff. So I just go to like an office store. I have like a construction paper and stuff. I make a makeshift like wristband. I dress in all black. I go all the way through. I walk in right, like I walk up to the gate, and security guy like looks at me. And before I even get there, he just kind of nods and he opens it up for me. So I walk into the thing. I go all the way to the back, where they're like handing out badges. I had like my mask on, right? So like no one can really tell. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna. There's a whole table where they're passing out these badges to the press and everything. And there's a box that's like off to the corner. And so I just like walk right up to the box, right next to one of the guys. I pull 2 badges out of it, and he looks at me. He's like, kind of like, oh, you know, like what are you doing? But he doesn't say anything. So I just like walk out with the badges, and I'm like, okay, cool. Now we're good. So I go back. Wait, you know, we have a friend who's like a big fan of one of the people in there. We put on the badges. We go back through, and now I get to act as staff during the event. This is a Russo brothers movie, right?
Yeah.
And while we're in the thing, while we're like waiting for like during the red carpet, the Russo brothers are like already like directing out and doing the thing. And then I noticed that like there's a person like talking to the security in front, and it's Joe Russo's wife, and she's trying to like get in the thing, right? And security's like, well, ma'am, so. So I'm just like, you know what, like even if not, let's just add to the chaos. And I have a badge that says staff.
Yeah.
I walk right up to the guy, and I'm like, hey, this is Mr. Russo. Like, this is Mrs. Russo. That's her husband right up there. She needs to be able to go talk to him. And the security guy is like, all right, sure.
Nice.
And so I walk her down to the thing, and then at the very end, like we get to the thing, and she's like talking, and I was like, oh yeah, could I like, you know, can I snag a pic real quick? So I got a photo with one of the Russos, and then the main thing I wanted to try and like, you know, prove I was there and everything. I waited until the limo comes up and all the celebrities are coming out. And so there's a person I've targeted that I'm like really wanting to try to meet. And I finally wait until the thing, and I snag a photo real quick with Chris Evans as he's like coming to the thing. I literally like walked up to him and was like, hey, you know, big fan Chris. I had him do the photo thing. We had a whole like
That's
moment
amazing.
on the thing.
Wow.
That's America's ass right there.
Incredible.
What the hell is this?
It's Chris Evans.
When he said to me that you had a story to tell on the podcast, I was like, oh, you know, I'm sure we'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's Captain America.
That's Captain America.
Crazy, dude.
On the red carpet.
What?
I snuck into the red carpet, and this is and Ryan Gosling and Honor TheAMaazing were there too. I didn't want to push my luck by getting for too many photos. Literally, one of the security guard came up to me and asked me to delete the photo, and I said, no, I'm working with Netflix TikTok. And he's like, really? Who's your boss? And I like just off the cuff, I was like, oh, it's like Charlie D'Amelio. You know Charlie from the. And like the dude was just like, I mean, I guess, and he just walked off. And I was like, I literally like, I was like,
Oh my
dude, I had
God,
no
that's
idea.
Charlie D'Amelio.
I was just like, yeah, you know, I'm with Charlie. You can talk to him if you want.
Charlie,
And it was like, you know.
You can talk to him if you want. Oh my God.
But yeah, no,
That's
I got
so
to meet
funny.
Chris Evans at a red carpet premiere. I finessed my way into the thing, and there he was. And I was like, there we go.
So good.
Dude, you got
is
Russo
amazing.
and Mr. American, man.
Yeah, and the Russo brothers too. I mean, like, listen, big fans of them ever since Community. But that was like my whole, like, that was like my number one like goal coming into this thing, where I was like, I'm gonna like,
You can die happy now.
I'm gonna meet. I was originally gonna try to meet Chris Hemsworth during the Thor Ragnarok thing, but VidCon was during that time. But I got for the Gray Man.
Yo,
So there you go.
so
You're a legend,
good.
JayDotJay.
That's
You're
the
a legend.
height of my yeah.
It doesn't get better than that.
Man.
No, that's actually really
VidCon, TwitchCon, movie premiere. MovieCon.
MovieCon.
Chicken. What a stack.
Yeah.
SawCon.
Sock on. Wait.
Suck on
What-
what?
what's
Suck on?
Sock on?
Suck on these.